live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, let me move in a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. It's us too. We're nearing the end of our Saturday run, but for now.
This is the second to the last show that's on Saturday nights. We're moving the show to 8 p.m. on Wednesdays.
But as of right now, it's still me, Lady Ada, and Phil on camera control.
Yeah, I'm doing all the stuff over here.
And we're broadcasting live from downtown Manhattan, the Adafruit headquarters.
Yep, little snow day, little cold day.
It's a little cold.
All right.
We got a lot of stuff going on, some new products,
Yep.
maybe some time for questions.
Okay. On tonight's show, the code is WEDS. We're celebrating the fact that the show is going to be on Wednesdays. It's a good way to remember. 10% off everything in the Adafruit store except for things that are out of stock in EagleCAD because that's software. Next up, show and tell. Talk about all the cool things that were on the show and tell tonight. We have some open source hardware news, some Arduino news, some Time Travel Tuesday.
Wow, hasn't been a time travel Tuesday in a couple weeks.
That's right. Jessica's doing it.
Okay.
It's getting done.
Nice Tuesday.
Cool.
Nice Tuesday.
Yeah. Wearable Wednesday, the world of wearables, all that's fit to wear and more. 3D Thursday, Pi Day. We're going to have new products. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to have some top secret stuff.
Ooh.
We're going to answer your trivia question. You can win some cool stuff. All that and more on Ask an Engineer.
Woot.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
That's cool. Let's kick back and do the show.
Yep. Okay. So, first up, the code is WEDS.
WEDS.
W-E-D-S.
Is it because you can't spell Wednesday?
Well, it's just too long to type.
It's with the N in the weird place. Yeah.
Yeah. So, just real quick, it's a reminder that Ask an Engineer is moving to Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Not tonight. Not this Wednesday.
Yep.
But the next Wednesday.
That's right. We have a little handy thing here. Show and Tell is going to be on 7:30 to 8 on Wednesday nights. And Ask an Engineer is going to be Wednesday at 8. So, other things, as always, until this whole thing just kind of collapses, we accept Bitcoin. So if you have Bitcoins, we still accept them. They're doing great. Today I get an email from a customer that says, I'm only shopping at Adafruit because you accept Bitcoin. And
Nice.
in the news, Overstock now has Bitcoin. They support Bitcoin. Tiger Direct,
Yeah.
Bitcoin. Those are big deals.
Those are pretty big
deals.
companies.
Anybody who has a Shopify online store, which is there's like a lot of them,
They can do it
they can
too.
do BitPay, which is Bitcoin.
There's
which we do.
Coinbase, BitPay. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
couple. Party.
Okay.
Okay.
And then one other reminder, we have a free deal going on right now. If you're in the U.S., continental U.S., and you spend $200 more, you get free UPS ground shipping. And if you spend $99 or more, which is less, you get a free PCB ruler. So we're doing this free thing. People really like it.
Sweet.
Yeah, people like the free deal. So
PCB rulers are also great gifts
yeah.
for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Okay.
Your lover would love a PCB ruler.
Everybody loves PCB
Everybody
rulers.
does.
Yeah. There's no way to measure how happy they'll be. Yeah. Okay. As seen on the show and tell, we had some awesome folks. Just again, because I got to use these graphics, it's moving to Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m.
Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
P.S. Were you
Yeah.
just paying attention? There'll be a quiz.
Yeah. All right.
When are we moving to?
What was on the show and tell, Lady Ada?
Okay, we had a really sweet show and tell. There was 4 people, but they were really good projects. First up, Tony and Carmen the cat, who meowed a lot during this demo, came on and showed off Yun data logger. So she's using the Arduino Yun, which is kind of a new Wi-Fi Linux Arduino type thing. And Tony is experimenting with making a data logger, and he shows how you connect to the serial port with the SSH client and the bridge method. It's really cool. Actually, I haven't had time to play with Yun, but it looks super neat. So thank you, Tony, for doing that, and hopefully we'll have a Learn tutorial if all works out. Scott came by, and Scott has a Vermont house that he doesn't go to. I guess he's there probably in the winter because it's like good skiing there right now, but maybe not during like the fall or spring. In the summer, it's good hiking too. So
Yeah.
a house in Vermont's pretty nice. I kind of want a house in Vermont, so maybe somebody can send me one. But anyways, he's got a little bit of fear that during the spring or winter there's going to be a leak in the basement, so he set up a leak detector. And he uses an Arduino Leonardo and an Ethernet shield. And it tweets to him when it detects that there's water on the ground. And he uses a sponge with 2 wires poked into it, which actually works as a pretty good leak detector because it'll soak up the water And then if it's not wet, there's no conductivity.
Yeah.
And when it is wet, it's a couple hundred ohms, but that's a couple thousand ohms.
He's had this running for a year, and he has these 2 big batteries on it, and it also tweets the voltage, too, so he knows when to change the batteries out.
Yeah, very handy. But yeah, if those lithium batteries, he has it like on a super sleepy, low power setting.
And the cool thing is it tweets, so it's a cheap, low cost, basically free SMS gateway.
That's right.
And it'll text him. It texts his phone when you want to get the information.
Probably like Scott's Vermont house.
Yeah.
There's water in the basement. YOLO. Okay, next up. Jay came by and he designed a cool plastic project plate for the Arduino Galileo, which is an Intel board. It's a little x86 board that has sort of like Arduino-like IDE for it. And he made a handy project plate that you can use it with the Wi-Fi daughter board. You can hang it up. It's clear. It's got a breadboard. Super handy looking. Very nice. Good work, Jay. I don't know, maybe he has a laser cutter. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then finally, Nick came by, and he has a fedora, but he's cool because he put LEDs on it. It's this kind of stripy fedora hat with a NeoPixel strip and Bluetooth and accelerometer and capacitive touch sensor, and it was just like, this was a crazy hat. And he made it for his brother, but he hasn't given it to his brother yet, which I understand. If I had a hat like that, I'd also kind of be like, maybe I'll give it to you next year. It was cool. It did like Christmas patterns, rainbow patterns, dance mode, where like when you moved, it followed your movements with lights. It was cool.
Yeah. Okay. So that was all the participants on the show and tell. Lady Ada, how do people get on the show and tell? What do they do?
Getting on the show and tell is super easy. Go to our Google Plus page at plus.google.com/+Adafruit and look for the post where we say, hey, comment here, and we'll add you to the circle, and then you'll join a couple hundred other people, like 400 people, who are in the circle and get invited every week. Right now, it's still Saturday, 9:30 p.m., but next week, or the week after that, it's going to be Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. So especially if you like to go out dancing on Saturday nights, or maybe you're in a country where it's like 5 in the morning right now, and you're like barely able to be awake, you will be able to join us, because I would like to have a lot more people from around the world be able to do it. So I think 7:30, it's like if you're West Coast, you can do it, East Coast. I think everybody but Australia. Australia's a toughie.
All participants in the show and tell get an As Seen on the Show and Tell sticker. All they have to do is email support@adafruit.com if you want an As Seen Show and Tell sticker sent to you. Get on the show and tell.
Yeah.
And if weekends don't work out, guess what? It's on Wednesday soon.
I know.
Okay.
So yeah, I know. Look,
yeah.
It's always going to be 4 in the morning somewhere in the world.
It is. It's weird.
Weird.
Okay. it's weird. The time works like that. Okay. Next up, mailbag time. Here's Packet.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Packet the mailbag. All right, Packet is here to deliver the mail. We get letters from customers and community members and people around the world who have something to say about Adafruit. This week's letter that came in is from Greg. I find it amazing that Adafruit can deliver items as fast as they do. Dispatch is usually same day, and overseas arrival is often within a week.
I'm dispatching.
Yeah.
We have a dispatcher like, send that package, Craig's package, send it right now.
We got a trinket and a Gemma that's got to get out there, right?
Send to Greg.
Burger 10-4, I got it. Yeah. One of the reasons is Adafruit is just a couple blocks from one of the biggest postal hubs in the world.
That's right, the New York JFK hub.
Yeah, and we're really tight with the postal folks. They take great care of us. We take great care of them. And we ship it, it goes there, and that's its last stop in the US. It gets out of here. So one of the things that folks like is how fast the postal works, because postal is kind of slow. And it's slow when you get to, just for the postal geeks out there, it's slow when it gets to kind of the last stage, and that's where things take a while. So some companies use the Smart Post thing, where it uses UPS or FedEx, and then it gets delivered to the post office. And then there's this murky period where nobody knows what's going on. It sits, and then there's a couple days, and then it goes through the rest of the postal system. So the trick is to get it to that last jump for international.
It's real easy to ship something from here to Germany. It's really hard to get it to that particular West Berlin apartment on the 5th floor with the dog in front and the doorbell that doesn't work. That's the tough part. That's why that's why we get it out of the country real fast, but hopefully your postal service can.
Thanks for the letter, Greg. Okay, Next up, we've got some housekeeping stuff here and some cool things that were on the site this week.
Yeah.
And some announcements.
All right, hit me.
All right, Lady Ada, this was Fritzing Friday.
Yes.
What are these parts that are now in the Adafruit Fritzing library?
This is the Adafruit trellis board with the little rubber elastomers on top. So this is this is the trellis board. And we just have the Fritzing item have the buttons on top already because it's kind of useless to have the PCB without the boards. And you can see, you can connect them side by side, and there's like the 5 contacts so they can tile any which way. We'll be doing some cool trellis projects soon. We also have the CAP 1188 capacitive touch sensor with 8 channels and LED feedback, which is very handy. I2T or SPI. Check it out.
Yeah. Okay. Next up. News. We have an update, a 1.1 update to Mohs resistance, the very popular, fun way to learn resistor values.
Are you tired of looking up resistor values
Yeah.
with a stupid little meter thing?
So
then now you should play this game.
So here's the update. 1.1 includes following changes. Fix an error in the color code cheat sheet. Whoops, typo. We fixed that.
Yeah, typo.
And then fix the bug preventing the project button from showing up in veteran difficulty. So the game is awesome. It's really cool. Kids are learning.
It's hard too.
Yeah.
I mean, normal's pretty easy. Veterans, that's tough.
Kids are learning how to read resistor values by playing a game. This is,
The best part is that if you cheat, you win.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, well, I just memorized the most popular resistor color codes. It's like, that's what you're supposed to do.
And we have
like I don't read that, I just memorize them.
We have our show Circuit Playground, and some of the characters are in that.
Yeah.
And we have our site, our blog, which uses a resistor CAPTCHA to post comments.
Yeah, we don't get much spam.
There is no spam system that wants to learn resistor values.
No.
That's cool.
How do we get like really targeted spam?
Yeah. All right. So next up, we have some news. This Saturday coming up, our last show on Saturday night for Ask an Engineer. Mike Estey is going to stop by. He's from Other Lab. And he's going to, hopefully, we backed the other cutter. Hopefully he's going to bring our other mill, sorry. And he's going to be on the show this week coming up.
We've known Mike for you've known him like 20 years.
Forever.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
15 years.
Forever. And then 2 more announcements. Lane from OSH Park, which a lot of people use for their boards.
Why is he wearing purple in that photo?
Yeah,
Whoa.
here we are.
Hello?
Oops, yeah, hello.
Hi.
Yeah, Lane's going to be on the show. On Hardware Hangouts, our new monthly show. And we're going to ask all about running a PCB business.
I'm very interested in how he does his business because he really cracked it.
Yeah.
He's the fastest, highest quality, U.S.-made PCB.
Purple PCBs.
Well, I mean, purple's cool, but like it's like I see these PCBs
so
everywhere.
Hardware Hangout is usually on a Tuesday. We'll announce it. All these things are recorded, by the way. It's not like the old days where it wasn't recorded.
Do we do a live question for Hardware Hangout?
We do.
We do. Okay.
We do. We use the Q&A app on Hangouts.
So if you
really
have
cool.
ordered Lane PCBs, and pretty good chance you have, please show up and show him good support or ask questions.
And so that's in February. Then in March, Brady Forrest from Highway 1. It's a hardware accelerator that is in San Francisco now, and we're going to interview him about all the funding and all the companies that PCH, which is now their incubator Highway 1, is into. So we have a couple of really cool things lined up already. We had Mark Barros, who had Contour camera, and his thing is he's like, yeah, we went up against GoPro came along and they annihilated us. And he talks about how the hardware and how sometimes companies don't work out, and what worked and what didn't. So we had him, and then we had Chris Anderson, the CEO of 3D Robotics, former editor-in-chief of Wired. So we interviewed him just a couple weeks ago, and he talked about drones, running a company, open source hardware, and more. So this is a new series we're doing. We're really happy about it. I like this because I don't get a chance to write my business articles that I did at Make, because I'm helping you run an Adafruit. And so now I'm able to ask all those questions and hang out and talk about running a business and a company and hardware. So
it's good because we actually so I do a lot of interviews, and they'll mean really well, but it's
you getting interviewed by someone else.
Yeah, I get interviewed, but it's like in the end they're just like, tell us about innovation. Which is kind of, I mean, I understand that they're like, look, we have to interview 500 people, so we're just going to ask really broad questions. But what's cool is when we interview people, we ask like really like detailed questions. Like we got to ask.
Yeah. Chris Anderson, why did you get why did you get a Mancore pick in place, or like what did you do this for?
Like,
and, like,
why specifically are you manufacturing in Mexico, and like
Yeah.
why do you get these machines, and like how do you handle FAA stuff, and what are the laws, and like what how much weight can each drone carry? Like most interviewers aren't going to get into like these really cool detailed questions.
Yeah.
We asked him about open source hardware, about his like GitHub repos, and like it was cool. Like really good detailed stuff. So. If you're interested in hardware, you can ask like real questions.
Yeah, and there's nothing like this out there. I'd say the closest thing that's out there that is really into hardware and business is the Maker Pro newsletter. And if you haven't seen on Make, sign up. They're doing a really good job with it. It's the closest thing that if you're really into thinking about, or if you're running a hardware company and you're a maker and you're kind of going pro, these are all the things.
And we don't just interview funded companies too, which is a lot of other like business webcasts, podcasts, whatever. They're like very like funding focused, like investor funding focused. We don't do that. We'll interview people that took money, people who bootstrapped, people who are profitable, people who are not. Like it's all interesting.
And
there's a lot of options.
And we don't take advertising, and we don't have loans or venture capital. And so in the end, it's like we're one of the few straight up, like we just want to get the information out there. We don't really, hardware hangouts, we don't sell anything. It's not like, okay, we don't even do a discount code. It's just us interviewing people. So anyways, that's coming up soon. Next up, some news in the world of open source hardware. One thing that we were doing, my new favorite feature on the site, it's with Arduino. We do a series called Micro Monday. And
that's right.
This Micro Monday we had this really cool thing. It's an ultrasonic eye for the visually impaired, and it uses an Arduino Micro.
Oh,
so yeah, it can see for you, and it uses a Micro. So Micro is the super tiny, super cute Arduino. It's our favorite one. We teamed up with Arduino
Not
on
just
this.
because we worked on it. No, it is actually really nice.
Yeah,
really
we didn't really do much, but we worked on it with them.
But it is a really nice board.
Yeah, and it's super tiny, so it's a really good low-cost platform. Other news in the Arduino world, they now have a community logo that people can use. And this is an interesting new thing. If you wanted to start your own Arduino open source community, or have a meetup, or have something, you can use this Arduino logo. Now, this is a shift towards being very clear about how to use Arduino logos and naming properly. So the Raspberry Pi Foundation, when they started out, they had a very clear list of things. Don't use our logo. If you do use our name, here's how you have to use it. Here's how you have to refer to it. If you want to use the logo, don't, but here's how you would get permission if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And what we don't see is a lot of our Raspberry Pi logos on things. If you put the Raspberry Pi logo on something, you actually can't. That's their trademark logo. And Arduino, for their own logo, they had a lot of counterfeits and a lot of people putting the word Arduino on boards, the logo on boards, and it got out of control. And I know they're trying to work on this. And one of the things we always said is you have to be clear about how and where people can do stuff. So this is a good first step, I think. So if you want to make your own like Arduino user group or Arduino meetup or whatever, you can make T-shirts. You can do all this stuff. It's basically like you can use this logo for non-commercial use. Here's how we want you to use it. So check it out. Yeah, news in the world of open source hardware. Next up, Time Travel Tuesday. So Time Travel Tuesday, we do this feature now every week. We look back in the maker world and try to find interesting things in science and engineering. This week, I just have one thing in particular. A year ago, to the day, we announced Gemma.
Really? Was it a year ago?
It was a year ago we announced Gemma. And Gemma looks a little different. This is the photo that we took, and Gemma's a little different. I want to ask you, lady, what and why did you change Gemma? Because this is a little different than what we currently have.
Yeah, this is, it's not significantly different, but I did change a couple things. And it's not much bigger. It's just, it seems like, oh, this is so much smaller. This, I believe, is 1 inch diameter, and I think the final Gemma is like 1.25 inches in diameter, so it's not that much larger. But originally I went with a micro USB connector, and I'm not against going back to micro USB, but micro USB is just, it rips off really easily. Especially if you use a surface mount only connector here. I might eventually experiment with using a through-hole connector. I just haven't gotten around to it, because I was like, well, I want to get this thing released. And I was having problems with this tearing off. So the final version is a through-hole, it's a surface mount Mini B, which has 4 huge tabs, so it like really sits a lot stronger, whereas the micro USB only has 2 tabs, and yeah, they tear off so easy. And I just didn't really want to have people so sad. You can't tear off the USB jack.
Well, let's go to the overhead real quick and show what Gemma looks like now, because you have it on the side of this little project that Becky was working on. So I'm gonna, yeah, we'll be able to do it. Okay. It'll be okay. I have faith in you. Yeah, you can bring it up a little bit.
No, I was not prepared for that.
Yeah, so this is what Gemma looks like now. I'm going to try to autofocus on this.
Okay. So, yeah, this is this tiara thing.
Let's see what I can do here.
You want to try to focus?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
So, yeah, there's a mini USB connector instead of a micro USB. And then we also added a JST connector over here. Yeah. And I did that because I wanted to make it easy to connect a small LiPo battery or our coin cell holder. And one of the reasons I did this is actually, there's a very particular reason, is that Gemma is small enough that I thought people would want to attach this to wearables that they would want to wash. And you can totally wash Gemma, and it's totally fine for washing, but you can't wash batteries. Not a good idea. You know, you don't want to have like wet water and batteries, and it can conduct through it, and they drain the battery, and it can corrode. Not so good. So you want to be able to remove the battery. And if you have it sewn in on the circuit, I thought it would be less likely that people would remember to remove it. I thought it would be harder. Yeah. You know, because you'd have to, like, there'd be an extra step. So I thought, since I'm going with a mini USB connector, let's just go with the same kind of style I did with the Flora. The Flora has a mini B and a JST jack, and so I added this JST battery connector. So, like, you can use, like, a slim battery pack, but it's easy to disconnect it by just pulling it out. Yeah. And also, then the button I put over on the side. But other than that, actually, the components are pretty much the same.
So could you epoxy things on so it doesn't pull off like the connector? You know, you said you didn't like the micro because would epoxy help at all?
Yeah, but then you have to add an extra 2 or 3 hours to manufacturing.
Oh yeah.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. And there's this goopy epoxy everywhere. It's just like awful and gross. And yeah. It smells bad, and it takes a long time, and if it doesn't cure, and then if it gets wet, the epoxy can loosen. Okay. So it's actually, you can epoxy stuff, but if epoxy doesn't solve the core problem, which is that it just pulls off. What usually you get with micro USB connectors is it's in a case, and the case holds the connector down.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't yank out because it's got this enclosure that grips over it, and it snaps over it. Yeah. And so you can't yank. I mean, they still do come loose. Like my Kindle has a loose micro USB connector. Yeah. But, or you use a through-hole style, which I might try using. I mean, apparently you can do through-hole style with only a surface mount process, but if you want to sell something for like $8 or less, you can't have an epoxy gluing step.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why it got a little bit larger. The original one did work, but yeah, I wanted to improve the reliability. I think that's more important because you can always make it smaller later. Yeah. You can say like Gemma Micro or something.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of wearables, Wearable Wednesday are featured, which is, it's becoming a monster. A monster. Every Wednesday we have
a wearable monster.
Every Wednesday we have the most amazing posts in the world of wearable electronics. We have Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern, our show that is on 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Really cool. And speaking of monsters, we have all cosplay stuff going on the blog each day.
Oh my God, this is Alien.
This is a homemade alien costume that someone made. And what we do is we also show how they made it. So here's some of the behind-the-scenes photos. As you can see, this is an amazing costume that they did. And look at the look. I just want to look at the end result again. Like this is what something.
I like how it's like at some sort of science festival. Like what's going on?
Yeah,
here?
It's like this is my science project.
Teen.
Yeah. So every day we have really cool homemade projects. A lot of them have electronics. Really cool stuff. So that was on the blog. This one was kind of a fun thing. So these are shoes from a long time ago. These are Puma shoes, and they're pedometers. And this is back in the 80s, and it was pedometer shoes. And listen to the text that's on the ad. So, of course, it says it also runs on 64K, because that's a measurement for when people run. But it says the RS computer shoe has a custom-designed gate array built into its heel. The computer chip records your run, then communicates the results on an Apple IIe, Commodore 64, or 128, or IBM PC computer.
This is cool.
Isn't this weird?
Yeah, no, but that's not. I mean, they're right. It is a custom gate array. They probably had a CPLD or like something, or a PGA, a PGA programmable gate array, and all it does is like do ticks. I mean, it's not. Honestly, there's not a lot going on here. The hardest part is to store the data. They probably recorded it to. I actually have no idea. Maybe it's probably RAM, and you couldn't take out the battery because they didn't have. I don't think they had EEPROM.
So you'd have to make sure the battery was okay.
I think it was still all UV. I mean, at that time, I'm sure it was all UV erasable only. So if you wanted to have rewritable data, it had to be in RAM.
It's funny how far ahead Puma was. It was so far ahead. It was so weird.
That's cool.
Most people have never heard of it.
That image was like a total a lie. Like if you look at the actual item, it's like gigantic.
Yeah. No, this is what it really looks like.
That's what it really looked like.
Okay, folks.
It was pretty chunky.
You want to log your steps, you got to have like 2 big boxes attached to the back. So they kind of made it.
But they kind of did some not photo, but like they lit it in a way. It makes it look like it's not so big, but it's really big.
All right, so next up, I wanted to show this. This is another cosplay post that came in that was on Wearable Wednesday. This is from Stargate. I'm a Stargate fan. So this was a costume that someone made. Really cool stuff. This costuming is really neat. And then last up, you're going to love this, Lady Ada.
What?
Every single time we show wearable electronics, some dude out there who's never probably like had to like get something dry cleaned or like had something is like, can I wash it? How do I wash it in the washing machine?
What's funny is that like we get so many guys asking, and here's why I'm sure they're guys, because women, women would ask because we have to, so much of our clothes are like hand wash or like sequined, or there's like gems, or you have to hand wash. It's like we know like if it's delicate, you have to hand wash it. Guys like, can I just toss it in the washing machine? I'm like, you should wash your sheets more than once a year, and then get back to me about washing your
so we have, and so when we hear this, we want to help and educate folks, and we want to do something cool. So in typical Adafruit style, we decided to make a video all about washing wearable electronics.
Okay, it's laundry time.
So here it is.
Becky Stern.
Oh, hello. I get asked a lot of questions about wearable electronics, but by far the most common is, how do you wash that thing? So we're at my house on laundry day to find out. First, read the label. It probably has some care instructions that will give you some idea. For instance, when was the last time you washed your winter coat? And electronics aren't inherently allergic to water. As long as the batteries are removed, the metal, fiberglass, and plastics that make up these circuits can handle getting wet, so long as they completely dry out before you plug them back in. Did you know that distilled water isn't even a good conductor? It's the salt and other dissolved solids that make water cause short circuits. But anyway, physical agitation is the actual biggest concern when washing your homemade wearable electronics projects. Overflexed wires can break, and friction can loosen conductive stitching. Components that can fill with water, like the microphone on this tie, should never get wet or go in the washing machine. But then again, so shouldn't your wool blazer or silk blouse. If your garment satisfies any of these conditions, a visit to the dry cleaner might be in order. The next option is to hand wash, and in my opinion, it's the safest way to wash the projects we show you how to make at Adafruit. You can avoid more sensitive components and can closely control the amount of agitation. Rinse thoroughly and hang up or lay flat to dry before plugging in the battery. Some of these things might survive the washing machine, so let's take out the batteries and see how it goes. I recommend line drying even if you do machine wash, but as an experiment we put this EL wire hoodie and these Flora and conductive thread circuits in the dryer. I even forgot to take out the GPS's backup battery. Oops. But it still powers up fine, and even though the hoodie shrank a little, the EL wire works perfectly. Remember that just like your clothes before you added a circuit, your DIY wearable electronics projects might need minor repairs from time to time. Thanks for coming along with me to do the laundry. If you had fun, please subscribe and leave your questions in the comments, which I'll answer every week on Adafruit's live wearable electronics show with me, Becky Stern.
And that's how you wash wearable electronics. We're finished.
Basically like anything else.
Yeah. So we got this one. We're going to do a video that it just answers where do you get your PCBs from, Advanced Circuits. And we're going to...
I'm going to ask what color my hair dye is.
What color it is?
Yeah.
Or what kind?
Color.
What is that color?
Yeah, what's the brand? Nobody ever asked me.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I'll do a video about it.
Yeah. All right. So that is, I think, the best and only video about washing wearable electronics.
That's definitely the only one, because, like, trust me, you Google it, there ain't nothing else.
Yeah. Okay. Next up.
Thanks, Becky.
3D Thursday. Big week in the world of 3D. We had a bunch of stuff going on. 3D Thursday. Every Thursday, all the news that's fit to 3D print. Here are some of the things. First up, we had a guest curator on the blog. Erin, Robot Girl, picked out all sorts of 3D printed robot stuff. So some of the things that we had on the blog. This is one of my favorite ones. This is Matthew Bergotti's weird inflatable robot thing. It's
So
like,
weird.
yeah, so it like inflates and
Black, black,
yeah,
black,
yeah,
black, black.
I can watch this all day
This
long.
is a great loop.
Yeah.
Yes, we did the tentacle project for us, and now he's doing more inflatable.
Yeah.
It's actually, what's interesting is like inflatable robots is a really cool idea because, you know, with hydraulics, they're much stronger and faster
Yeah.
than a servo or motor or motor can be. You know, you can like very quickly inflate something, and it's pretty powerful. I mean, especially when the
Yeah.
air is already compressed. It's if you get hit with one of these things, like
Yeah.
it's hard. It's like wood.
Next up on our robot tour of 3D printing, this is from Rick.
Oh.
And this robot is really neat. It has all the electronics or stuff from Adafruit. This little it's like a little Adabot.
Adabot.
And here's the little robot. Meep 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 meep. And this is moves around.
Wow.
And it lights up and it talks. And look at this cute little robot that he made.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's great. And then next up, this is really neat. For all the folks out there that really like the flexible filament, now it's also referred to as Ninja, the Ninja Flex filament. We use this on our wearable electronics project because it's flexible. It's kind of waterproof. It's kind of interesting. And Noah and Pedro wrote up an awesome guide about this flexible material. So everything you need to know, it's on the blog, everything that they learn, and I would say that they're kind of the experts at this already. One of the cool things that we recently did is we made
Watch band.
watch band, and we also made 3D printed diffusers that
Yeah.
fit on top of NeoPixels.
Rubbery
Really
diffusers.
cool, really
Yeah.
cool. So next up, Pi Day. Every Friday. Pi. Every day, yeah. So
You gotta
first
say
up,
that 2 million times.
yeah, so that's how many there are. So this one, I thought this was kind of neat. This is a Raspberry Pi temperature data recorder. And one of the things that it uses our DS sensor, and it also has our cobbler and our
Yeah,
cable.
one wire temperature.
Yeah,
meter.
one of the things I like about this is how easy it is to do a Internet of Things project. So you can just get a Raspberry Pi and a temperature sensor, and you can do data recording, you can report it, you can do everything. It's just like good, ready to go. It's really
Yeah.
cheap. So that was one of the projects that was on the site that I thought was kind of neat. And then we have a really cool project. This is from Tony DiCola. This is the Raspberry Pi face recognition treasure box. So if it recognizes your face, the treasure box will open.
Yeah, he showed this on the show and tell a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's cool because he now knows a lot about how face recognition works. And what's interesting is that you take all these photos and then it kind of does like an eigenface and then it does a negative eigenface. So it shows you what you don't look like.
Yeah.
And it's kind of neat.
Really cool. And then here's a picture of the box that it uses. So, and it has the As Seen on Show and Tell sticker.
Because it was on the show and tell.
Yay! Yeah, it's on the Show and Tell. And then the other thing that we announced is Mike Dole, who we work with for our case design for lots of things, we're tossing around the idea. So he did these renderings, and we asked the world, hey, would you want an open source Nest? If Adafruit made it, would you buy it, or would you support it, or would you contribute to it, or all this? And it was overwhelmingly positive. Everyone wants that. At the same time, Spark Devices, who makes the Spark Core, made it their own little version of Nest. And it's interesting because the Nest got bought for like $3 billion by Google, and a lot of people are like, well, I guess my tinkering days are over. I'm not going to be able to like make it do things with it. Certainly not now. You know, Nest was never really meant to be hacked and messed with, anyways. So people are like, no, I actually want to do my own thermostat, and I want to be able to control it. I want to know where the data goes, where it's stored, all this stuff. We came up with the Internet of Things Bill of Rights that people are interested in. So if you have something that collects your data and stores it, or data logs it, or displays it in some way, wouldn't it be neat if there was a Bill of Rights that said, here's the data policy, and it's very clear. Data's yours. You can always get it out. You can take it anywhere you want. And so people want us to do this, so we might do this as a project.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, because we're seeing more Pi TFT projects. This could be a good PyTFT type project.
Yeah. So before we move on to new products, the code is WEDS. WEDS. 10% off everything in the Adafruit store. That's a reminder that Show and Tell is moving to Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ask and Answer is moving to Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know that's what's happening?
Wait, when is it moving to?
Oh, it's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
And don't forget, you can use Bitcoins, you get a discount, and you can use that free offer. If you go over 99, you get a PCB ruler, and if you go over 200, you get a free UPS ground, Continental USA only. Whew. Okay, ready, Lydia? It's new product time.
Is it new?
Yeah, new product time. Okay. Now, this one is a sign-up one.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I gotta look in the camera on this one. For all you folks who kept saying, if you have an open source 3D printer, I'll buy it because I don't want a closed source 3D printer in any way.
Did you ever say that?
There's a lot of people who are very vocal. Some of them were very mean. I had to get rid of their comments because they couldn't say that and also not say bad things. I know how the passionate community out there really wants to have a 3D printer. So, guess what?
Are you passionate?
They're on the way. We have the Lulzbot coming in. These will probably arrive this week. This is the Lulzbot, and you can sign up now. It is the only fully open source printer that we know of. It's FSF certified, which is like really hard to do. It's like hardcore.
If you can find another truly open source, not that they say they're open source, but actually are open source.
Yeah,
3D printing,
not the non-commercial thing.
And not saying you're open source, but they don't actually post files.
Yeah.
Let us know, and we will try to carry it. Because we're going to try to carry all of the truly open source printers.
And we're also going to have other printers because this is one of those times where if the world and the people who shop at Adafruit, if they want a printer that does certain things and they don't care about it being open source or closed source, we're going to have those. We'll probably have the new MakerBots in at some point. We'll probably have a couple other type of 3D printers in. We did have the MakerBot for a while. And we're going to have this one up next. And the cool thing is this will give everyone a chance to decide what type of 3D printer they want. So if they want a world with open source 3D printers, if we sell a bunch, then we can say, oh, wow, everyone really wants this. So, OK, that's coming up. So sign up now.
Now you know.
Yeah, sign up, because when they go, or don't go, we have to figure out if this is going to make sense.
You're supposed to know how many to order. I mean, we ordered some, but if we have to book them ahead of time.
Yeah.
Anyways,
okay.
sign up.
So next up, we have a cool little kit. This is from Make. This is the BrushBot Party Pack.
Yes.
And the BrushBot Party Pack, it's like a little BristlyBot thing. It's all these little brushes.
Yeah.
And this is all the stuff it comes with. It is a party pack. It comes with like a toothbrush
It comes with like 12
stickers.
12 pack.
Yeah.
So you wanted me to make one of these?
Oh yeah.
Okay, why don't you grab the box for me?
Yeah, I'll do that right now. So we're gonna make one of these.
I'll make one of these.
Yeah.
So, in the pack, thank you.
I'm gonna go to the overhead.
Kind assistant. Well, I have to show this. This is big.
Oh, okay.
This is big. There's this big bag, and it comes with like toothbrushes and a baggie of batteries and a baggie of motors. So let's go to the overhead. It comes with a comic, which is kind of funny, I guess.
Yeah.
So you get like a brush. Maybe you focus while I get all this stuff out.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you get like a bag of batteries, and these are basically CR2032 coin cells.
Yeah.
And it also comes with a bag of little Vibey motors.
Yeah.
Which we actually have in the store already. So these are all very familiar. Let's see what else comes with it. 1 second. It also comes with a little sticky guy. Okay, so here's how you make these. These are actually really, really easy. You don't need any soldering tools for this. First, you want to cut the head off of the BristleBot. I'm just going to use diagonal cutters. And it's pretty soft, so just give it a cut. And now you've got, oh, hi. Thank you. We should, yeah, well, maybe we'll set up 2 cameras. We'll be like,
one day we'll have like 5.
We'll have like 8 cameras. Okay,
yeah.
Hi. So now you've got the BristleBot head, and so this is the body. And then we have the battery itself with wires on it. And we're gonna cut it to be shorter. And then I'm gonna use wire strippers to gently strip the wires off like that, a little bit, maybe like a 1/4 inch. Okay, and just make sure that the black and red wires don't touch each other because it'll short out your battery. And there's internal resistance, so it won't like kill the battery instantly, but it won't last very long. And then I guess I want to have it. This is actually kind of okay. So then you want to tie the coin and buzzer together, and it says just twist the wires. They're pretty thin, so you can twist them pretty easily. Hold on. Whoa. Did I do something wrong? These are not buzzing. Hold on.
Yeah.
Maybe I got a bad battery. Let me try another battery or another buzzer, just in case.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, maybe it's bad luck. Well, this has been open. We were doing a lot of experimentation with
Live
this.
demo.
Live demo. I don't think I shorted the batteries out. Let me try another one of these just in case.
Luckily, it's a party pack.
It's a party pack.
So you have more, you can keep partying.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if it's the battery or the buzzer. Ooh, I think it's this battery. Oh, yeah, it's this. It's the buzzer or something. Or maybe I just got it done weird. Okay, let me do that again. Slow-mo replay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to twist the black and blue wires together. Okay, doing that. Sorry, move my hand up. Ooh, so now you can see it's buzzing annoyingly. So
It's a great project for kids. Kids love a little annoying
yeah,
buzzers.
this is definitely annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's buzzing, and there's, whoa, this is a little bit tough. Maybe I should have done this first. But anyways, you take off this little piece of paper, and then you can stick it onto the battery. So now the battery's also vibrating. And then you can cut a piece of this stuff, this double-sided sticky tape, and stick a piece here onto the brush. Okay,
Yeah.
move this. I'm really good at doing that now after making Minty Boost. And then, whoa, here we go.
Oh, cool.
Go, little guy. Whoa. Hold on.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's a little robot, and it pretty much just goes forward, but you have to kind of be careful because they can be pretty fast. And maybe I'll try to keep it together with the stick. Hey, hey. So yeah, it's a little robot guy, likes to vibrate around, and they're fun to race, and you can make little races, raceways with some cardboard or paper or whatever, like in your kitchen, and have these little bots go. And so yeah, they're super popular for kids and stuff. And I'll move over this way now. Okay.
All right.
All the way around, 360. Okay, and yes, that's the brush bot kit. And people have been making these bristle and brush bots for a while, but this is kind of a fun party pack so that people can
Okay.
basically they just get this and they're ready to go.
All right.
Good activity, especially for younger kids, no soldering.
Yeah. All right. Next up. Oh, and like I said before, here's everything you get. 9 out of 10 dentists agree. Okay.
I think there's actually an extra battery or something too. By the way, I think that they give you some extra stuff.
Okay. So next up, we got this camera. This is a constructor.
Constructor.
This is a camera kit. It's
Yes.
like one of the few film camera kits that you can make yourself. This is really cool. Actually make a camera.
Yeah, this is a lomography camera. So this is we already had a DIY digital camera.
Yeah.
This is a DIY analog camera.
Yeah.
Not digital. It's a film camera. It takes 35 millimeter, which is the most popular kind of film. So it's not like a 120 camera, which is a pain in the ass. You have to get weird film and where are you gonna get it? It's all expired. 35 millimeter, you can still get it pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
Even most grocery store, hardware stores will still have 35 millimeter, wherever you get your camera supplies from. And you build the kit, and it's a single lens reflex. There's a lens, and there's a little mirror that you can look through, and then when you click the button, it flicks it and exposes
I don't think we need to.
the lens. It's basically this photo is.
It's this photo.
This
yeah.
photo is really.
We
clear.
took a good photo, so
There's
you got that.
it's basically all plastic parts
Okay.
that snap together. I kind of actually like that. It's kind of like an old style kit.
Yeah.
Comes with a screwdriver, comes with tools. I think it even comes with film. Maybe it
Yeah.
doesn't. It probably
Good
doesn't
check.
come. I don't want to say that in case it doesn't. So
Yeah.
it doesn't come with film. So get some film, black and white color, whatever. So this is good if you want. It's a little bit less expensive than the digital camera. And
Yeah.
some people are old school film style. So this is like if you like Instagram. This is like
Well,
Instagram without batteries.
It's also neat because you learn how a camera works.
Yeah, it is cool. I actually I want to put this one together because I used to do photography on film, but I never built my own camera.
Okay.
There was no such thing.
Next up, so we're gonna get through. We just got a couple
Okay.
things. We're gonna get through these
The
pretty
demo
fast.
was the longest.
Yeah. Next up, headers.
Headers.
We got headers.
We has them. Okay. We had the male headers in last week, and then this week we got around to putting in the socket female headers.
Do you want to do these headers all at once, and then I'll go to the overhead?
Yeah. So we
Alright.
have. Wait. Can you go back to the beginning?
I got it back at the beginning.
Back to the beginning. Okay. We have single row, right angle. We actually only had single row straight style. This is the right angle style.
Yeah.
We also have. There's also the right angle style. Okay, this is the dual right angle style,
Yeah.
dual row, and
You know, you can tell
it's dual.
because it's dual.
It's dual, and it's right
Yeah.
angle.
Yeah.
And then we also have
Last up.
the straight through
Yeah.
dual female socket header. So
Yeah.
we already had the single straight, so now we have single straight, single right angle, double straight, and double right angle, which is pretty much all you ever need. And each one of them is 36 pins long, and these come in a pack of 5. The male headers come in a pack of 6 because, well, they're cheaper. So
Okay,
we
so
can,
you wanna
or
do
sorry, they come in a pack of 10 because they're cheaper. These are in a pack of 5 because they're more expensive, and we wanted to keep it at about $5. Can
Yeah.
I go in? And
Yeah.
autofocus?
Yeah, I'll get that going on for you.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so here is the right angle style, and you can see it is right angle. And this is not what is called breakaway header. Breakaway header is only for male style header. Female style header, socket header, which has the socket at the end, so you can plug wires or header into it. Basically, you know, you see it on Arduino, it has a socket header. You can't really cut it. It's not breakaway, you can't just snap it. So you really
Yeah.
go with the male header, you just snaps.
Yeah. So you don't suggest people try to cut these.
No, you can, but it just doesn't break by hand.
Yeah. You got to use a tool or
You have to
something.
use a tool.
Okay, I understand.
Luckily,
that.
we are tool using animals. Let me show you how you do
Yeah,
it.
that's the difference between us.
That's right. This is why MOSFET does not like a socket header. MOSFET only likes the breakaway male header because
Yeah.
he can just chew it in half. Cat.
Okay, so you're
So
gonna.
here's what you can do. This is the easiest way to do it. So what you do is you take a pair of pliers, and let's say I need an 8-pin header. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the next pin, I yank it out. And it's kind of hard to do it live. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretend like I did that live. You yank it out,
Yeah.
and you've got this little wishbone type thing. That's what it looks like inside. So now you see that there's like a gap. And now it's really easy. You can use your diagonal cutters, and you just cut right in the middle.
Look at
Bam.
that.
Bam.
That's how you do
Pow.
it. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Okay?
Okay.
So very easy to break into whatever length you need. And that's why I suggest just getting a bunch of 36-pin ones. And then it just takes a second. And then, you know, if you're not doing it live, it's very fast. You just pull the pin and you cut it.
Okay.
And yeah, it takes a second. And then if you want, you can be like, ooh, I'm really like OCD, and I'm gonna like clean this off, and that's gonna be like
Get that spot out.
Get
Get the
that
spot out. Get the
spot.
spot out. Get the spot out.
and then you can kind of clean it up a little bit, and so it'll be nice.
Perfect.
And
It's
clean.
perfect.
It's perfect. So
Okay.
there you go.
Okay,
And
there,
basically, dual's the same. It's a little tougher. Dual's just thicker, but still pull out the 2 pins.
Yeah.
And you can have a party. I would maybe use a hacksaw if you can. I know it's like a pain to get your hacksaw out, but if the dual header's just thicker, and
Yeah.
unless
I got a
you're-
hacksaw ready to go at all times. I'm just like
Yeah.
waiting.
Well, I mean, you can use diagonal cutters. It's just tough because it's just tough to get around
Okay.
the thickness. But anyway, so we have it in all socket styles now, and so hopefully everyone is super happy.
Okay. Last product. We got to get through this fast, and then we're gonna do a
Yeah,
couple other
we're
things.
done. I'm
Yeah, we're
done.
done. All right. Here it is. I'm gonna start here. Do do do, do do do, do do do, and then here's the back. What is this thing? What could it be? It's so beautiful. Oh, it's a screen.
This is a 1.3. It says 1.27, but like, geez, like this is technical size of the name. 1.3-inch color OLED. We have a black and white OLED that's about the same size, and also about like 128 by 64. This is a 1.3-inch, 128 by 96 color OLED, and it's 16-bit color, and it's beautiful, and it's crisp, and we took super slick photos so you can see how incredibly crisp it is. I mean, like, that's really, really small text, and it looks really, really good.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And the color looks really good, and I'll show it live. Maybe we'll show it live. Unfortunately, it's always a little flickery. I don't know if we can...
Well, I can try to play it because, you know, cameras and do a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff.
it's because it's refreshing.
Yeah, so here's
Try 50.
60 hertz.
No.
And then
Maybe
you can
disable?
also disable.
No. Oh,
Yeah.
it's not 60 hertz. But yeah, it's color. Wait, you know what? Let me turn this off. Sometimes that helps. No? Did this help? No? Wow, that's super flickery. Well, whatever. That's life.
Yeah.
So I'll turn this back on. But it does look really good if it's not super flickery, which you can't see, your eyes can't detect. It can do all colors. We've got the GFX library, so it can do like circles, lines, squares, text, etc. And on the back, there is level shifting circuitry, so it's safe to use with an Arduino, and a micro SD socket. You can display bitmaps from it. But yeah, maybe let's just go look at the pictures that are not flickery, because they're not.
Shall we look at the photos?
Look at the photos.
Yeah, so here you are. Rainbow. This
Yeah,
is
that's
the
a test
test stuff that
pattern.
we put on here.
Yeah, so you have text in multiple different sizes, round rects and rectangles, circles, filled circles, non-filled circles, lines. There's the back.
Can you read this in the daylight? Is it one of those, or you can't?
You can more than a TFT. The contrast is very, very high. So it's if you're going to have a color display, this will show up a lot better. This is why OLEDs are often used in smartwatches and such, because they are more daylight readable. I mean, like if it's super bright out, like you can't. I mean, you're just blinded. Okay. But it's a lot better. It's not e-ink though. E-ink is extremely daylight readable, but also isn't night readable. So it's like a trade-off: night readable, daylight readable. Okay. So vampires versus werewolves. You decide.
And that was a new product slide. You did good work. You did it. Hooray! Sweet. All right. Some of you out there are probably wondering, man, I want to get that stuff now, but if only there's a discount code. There is a discount code. It's WEDS. And it's 10% off everything in the Adafruit store that's in stock, except for gift certificates and EagleCAD, because that's software. By the way, you know what? The EagleCAD thing's working out really well. People, you did the Lady Ada cut. It was just like, here's the 3 I think people will really want. And it's working
I don't make you buy the auto router.
Yeah.
Because like everyone does, the auto router is just like, I mean, it's as good as an auto router gets, but auto routers aren't that good.
Yeah.
Nothing beats
I like that you
brains.
have an opinion. Yeah, you have an opinion about this.
An opinion about this, but yeah, we give you the single. Also, we only do single license because like most people, if you're a big company, you can go talk to the CAD directly.
But no, but we talked to all of our customers and they're like, this is actually what they wanted. So it's working out really well. Anyways.
Yeah. But we can't discount
There's
it.
There's discounts on that, yeah.
Part of the deal, we couldn't discount it. But you can buy it with Bitcoin.
Yeah, you can, which is kind of like a discount because Bitcoin's not real. Okay, next up, we're going to do a little bit of top secret just really quick because we're running out of time. Yeah. Top secret. Here's the top secret things this week. Lady Ada, what is this thing that you're working on? What is this? What is this? It's a MIPI. It's a MIPI. You're like, what is a MIPI? Yeah. Is it like a new pastry? It's like the cronut. Yeah. Look how bright and crisp that screen is. Yeah, it actually looks even better in real life. It looks kind of scary. This is a Nexus 7 2, which is like the one from last year. Display, and I'm driving it with, it's a MIPI display, so it doesn't use the more common LVDS or TTL protocols, which I'm now like pretty familiar with. This is a differential signal that is like super, super fast. Kind of sucks. Most processors don't have, most processors that hobbyists have access to, like the BeagleBone Black and the Galileo, don't have drivers for MIPI. So what I'm trying to do is create a bridge circuit that uses an SSD 2828 to transfer from like TTL type logic, which like almost every kind of serious Linux processor type thing can handle,
2 MIPI, and so far we have a picture of babies going on.
Yeah, okay.
Not quite ready for frame buffer, but we're getting there.
Yeah, next up. Paint Your Dragon. We'll be working on this. This is the Adafruit Retina display
Case.
So just a
All
couple
black.
quick, just a couple
That's
quick
nice.
little preview things. A little preview, just preview. It's not out. Don't ask. What do we have on
out.
display? Very cool.
You
Okay,
don't get the universe with it.
that was a top secret thing. Okay,
Wow,
next
that's
up. Yeah, that's it. Okay, next up. Your questions.
hate
Your
MIPI.
questions.
Don't
engineering
ask
questions.
me MIPI questions because
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can't.
right
Well,
now.
that's it's
I
not
mean,
out.
like,
You don't
I'm
ask.
still
Yeah.
researching it.
Someone had a question about how it works with Bitcoin. Is there an extra discount for Bitcoin? No. Use Bitcoin for the payment method, but use WEDS as a code, and you get 10% off.
Yes.
Everything is stock except for gift certificates. Legal CAD. Next, do you ever pre-bake any components before reflowing? Just started with SMD and wonder how important pre-bakes if components have been sitting out for weeks.
Ooh, I never have to because we keep all of our stuff sealed up, and we go through stuff really fast. So you can try. You may or may not. I mean, it depends on the component. You might just have to just check the boards for spattering, or lifting, or whatever can occur with those components. But luckily, we don't have that issue. Because we keep it in a desiccant bag. You can also try doing that. Instead of having to pre-bake, if you take your components out of the bag, put it back into the anti-stat bag, and put the desiccant back in there.
Who came up with the MIPI protocol? Is it some Google thing?
No, it's just like a bunch of companies.
Yeah.
It's just they got together and they're
Okay.
just like, they're like, let's come up with some protocol.
Next up, oh, see, you asked for it. Now you get your question. Is your hair dye manic panic based?
It's not special effects.
Okay.
Thanks for
All right.
asking.
How many times can I use the Mohs resistance code? Oh, this is a good question. So if you purchase the Mohs resistance game, it's 99 cents, but you get a one-time 99-cent off coupon. Ha. So it's basically
Handy.
free. Yeah. Okay. Next
Just
up.
one time.
Yeah, so one time. Next up, to finally answer the question.
Okay, thanks.
Next up, about how long would it take for a large 3.4 watt solar panel to charge one of your 4.4 amp hour Li-on batteries?
I think you can look at how much current you get out of a 3.4 watt cell. I think it's like about 500 milliamps. So about 8 hours of direct sunlight, direct sunny sunlight.
Okay. Next,
That's
we had a house
soonest.
fire and almost lost everything.
Oh,
I had an
sorry.
accumulation of components that experienced a lot of heat, including tubes of ICs melted together. How much heat can these components take?
ICs can take 150 degrees.
Okay.
I mean, for a short amount of time, you can get them up to 220 because that's what reflow temperature is.
Yeah.
So if it was 150 to 200, they might have survived. It's tough. I don't know. You might want to test a couple,
Okay.
socket them, see if they still work.
Okay. Next up, do we have a schematic for the version 2 motor shields? Yeah.
Yeah, it's up on the product page.
Yeah. Next up, will we be updating the PyMiner, CG miner for versions that report in, what is it, gigahash instead of megahash?
That's up to Colin. I think we sort of did that project as a fun sort of show. We don't sell the hashers,
Yeah.
so we're not, we don't know if there's changes in software or firmware. Is it a GitHub repository? If you send us a pull request,
Yeah.
we'll add it. I think it's not even. I mean, it's really hard to
Yeah.
run Bitcoin miners and make
Okay.
any money. So I think Colin's not going to get involved.
Two fast questions, and then
Yeah.
we're going to give stuff away. Will we lose contact with the GPS module if it goes over 88,000 feet, and will we regain contact once it goes below 88,000 feet?
It's 40,000 meters. Yeah, I believe it will no longer report. It'll just report 0 as the altitude or the location.
And then when it drops, go.
And I believe it will report again when it drops below 40,000 meters.
Okay. What's a
So
good source
whatever
for
it is.
small project hardware like spacers, standoffs, nuts and bolts? MasterCard.
Yeah, that can be MasterCard.
Yeah.
Or your local hardware store. They actually have a lot of
Yeah.
stuff, and you can get you can sit there and be like, do I want a number
Yeah.
3 or number 6
Okay.
or whatever?
Those are the questions.
Okay.
Next up, trivia question, Lady Ada. What are the rules for a trivia question? We're going to give away something. You know what we're going to give away?
No, I don't.
You don't know what we're going to give away?
Do you have something?
Yeah, we're going to give away a little OLED.
Okay, we're giving it OLED.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
they're
thought
super
you had.
cute.
Okay, you had a plan. First person to answer the question wins the prize. But if you've won before, you can't enter. So if you've won any kind of prize from the show and tell, or the Ask Engineer, you can't enter again. One winner per lifetime.
Yeah. Okay, here's the question. What is the name of the wearable platform we announced 1 year ago this month?
What was 1 year ago?
Yeah, we even went over it in the show
Were you paying attention?
during the Time Travel Tuesday section. So just name the wearable platform that we have that we announced a year ago last year. Type. You know, if you're watching the show, you can actually even scrub back.
Really?
You can also go to the blog and look at Time Travel Tuesday. Let's see who got it.
Okay.
Let's see who got it.
Hopefully somebody will win.
Yeah.
You win an OLED. What did I announce a year ago? It's a tough one.
Oh, here
Okay.
it is.
All right, wait.
The first person to get it was the Ustream.
Whoa, it hiccuped.
It
No,
hiccuped.
scroll down.
Yeah.
Yeah, scroll down.
Okay, the first person that got it was WikiWiki.
WikiWiki.
WikiWiki, congratulations. You got it. You won.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Sorry, I was like, wow, there's nobody's posting,
Yeah.
but then like our computer was like, hey, all these people posted. So,
Yeah,
great.
WikiWiki, email support@adafruit.com and you'll get an OLED. Yay.
OLED. Actually, it doesn't flicker as much
Yeah.
on this monitor, but you can't focus in on it. It's too
Okay,
small.
congratulations.
Make yourself a little watch or something.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody, so much. Thank you, all the Adafruit staff members who make this possible. Thank you, all of the audience members and community members who keep us going. Thank you so much. Don't forget the code is WEDS, W-E-D-S. 10% off. You got about another hour before
Yeah.
it expires. Don't forget,
Next week we're still here.
we're still here, but then
but
after
the week
that.
after that,
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yep. Here's a picture of MOSFET. Meow, meow, meow.
You can't say we didn't warn you about
And-
the Wednesday thing.
We'll see everybody next week. Here is your moment of Zener.